No, my name is not pronounced Isaki. Thank God.
This is Joel.
It's pronounced Hazaki, like has a key for the door. Yeah, has a key. It's German, which, yes, I realize already makes me seem a little racist. I kind of wish people would stop telling me that I have gray in my beard in the same tone that they tell me I have shit in my teeth. It's like, I get it, but one's my poor oral hygiene, you know? The other is like not my fault at all. Okay? I can't do anything about the, lack of pigmentation in my hair follicles or whatever. One thing I try not to do, but it happens anyways, is I try not to watch the news because it's full of terrible, terrible information that you don't want to hear. One of these news stories is indelibly burned into my brain. I was a little kid and I was watching the news, and there was this story on, and it was all about how there were snakes in the sewers. Okay? This was a real thing that was happening. It was happening in Florida, actually. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and I'm like, okay, there's snakes in the sewers. That's kind of crazy. Wait a second. How do they know there are snakes in the sewers? So I keep watching, They were coming up out of the toilets. How did they know they were coming up out of the toilets? Because they were on the toilets when these snakes were coming up. Yes, oh no, now you're all fucked, just like me, okay? This little 9-year-old kid watching the news now had to be worried about taking a shit. The most vulnerable time, the time where I relax, the time where I collect my thoughts, plan my day, you know what I mean? Go over my list of regrets, whatever the fuck I do, I'm on the toilet, and now I have to worry about a dangerous reptile burrowing into my asshole? 9 years old, so I don't watch the news, I'm good. I don't need that kind of fear in my life. But still somehow, news stories and things still, they still find their way into my life, and I unfortunately was watching the news recently, and I watched this story. It was actually really touching. There was a man on there, and he lost his brother. Okay, so he's telling the camera, he's like, it's terrible. He's been trapped under this rubble for this many days, and I couldn't get him out. So yeah, that was like that. It was touching. It was just like that. It was like, oh God, this guy's brother, man, he lost him, and he's trapped under this rubble. What happened? And they're like, wow, he got caught under all this stuff in the sinkhole. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. This is a white dude, by the way, on here talking, and this is Florida, okay? So I'm thinking probably like you are a little bit, and I'm like, what the fuck are these rednecks doing near a sinkhole? Okay, they were doing something. They had their trucks, hitched up to something, and they were gonna do something. No, that is not at all what happened. After they interviewed the brother, they went to a neighbor, and he's like, oh my God, I saw the whole thing. His bedroom just collapsed, and the whole house went under. His bedroom collapsed into a sinkhole, and the dude is dead. It collapsed on top of him. So now, thank you, news. No longer can I take a shit in peace, and now I have to worry about the earth swallowing me as I sleep. But I do still check stuff out on the news. I definitely, read news stories, and I stay aware of things. And one thing I keep running into, and I don't know if it's just a fear of mine, because I really, really, really don't want anything like this to happen to me, but dying in kind of a comical way would really, really, really suck, because every time, this is your life we're talking about, you've only got one, and every single time the news of your demise passes, people kind of have to keep from snickering a little bit. That's not good. I read a story about a guy, I think he was a pothead, okay, because the nature of the story you'll see in a second, but he couldn't wait for his lava lamp to heat up. So he put the motherfucker on the stove. Yeah, okay, well, you know, I'm not a scientist or anything, but it expands, right? In the lava lamp. And then glass goes shooting and fucking everywhere. And it's just like, you know, it's like, how did it happen? Oh, well, you know, lava lamps. It's not a good thing. In this country, every single day, 8 people die in less than 6 inches of water. In less than 6 inches of water, 8 people die every day. So again, it's like, hey, how did it happen? What? Who put that mop bucket there? How did the wheelchair get above the toilet like that? And how the fuck are these people dying in less than 6 inches of water? So one of the most interesting stories that I've heard, and this isn't even all that recent, but in 1985, in the city of New Orleans, they had a party. They were celebrating because they went an entire swim season without any fatalities at all. Okay, so they had a party. They threw this party. The New Orleans recreation department threw a party, and they had swimming. They had 4 lifeguards worked it, and there were over 100 lifeguards in attendance. And the next day, they found a body in the bottom of the pool. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, apparently because of the chemicals in the pool, they couldn't tell the race of the individual. But it was New Orleans. And apparently they weren't a strong swimmer. 1985 was a pretty good swim season in New Orleans. How about 2005? How'd that swim season go? Is it too soon? It's 2005. What do you mean too soon? Oh, and by the way, just so you know, when I had to figure out what fucking date Katrina was, I just Googled, when did Kanye say George Bush hates black people? I was like, I don't know why, that just seemed quicker to me than Katrina's and C's and a K. Alright, well, I hope I warmed you up a little bit, because Noah Vigil's up next and he says, fuck that.